Hey, what's up guys? Martin here, and in today's video I want to tell you about the difference between what used to happen in the past, right, and what happens today, and an opportunity that you have today regarding branding. Okay, so you guys might not have a brand today, and you might think that you know what, branding is something that some people do, I shouldn't be doing this because XYZ, but it could be that you're missing out on one of the biggest accelerators for your business ever, and I want you to understand the ramifications of it. You know, what used to happen before, what happens now, and what you need to do now. Okay, so if you want to know if you're on the right track or not, make sure to stay tuned after this really small clip. Alright guys, so before we start, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell just so you're informed every time I release a new content, okay? Now, please let me explain what the big shift has been in recent years, okay? So, before, this is what used to happen. You had big, massive brands, right? Brands that everybody knows on the whole planet, who were basically making, taking all the decisions, right? So this is where people are buying, right? And things started changing with the introduction of social media. With social media, what happened was that everybody could have a voice, right? And people started creating their own brands, micro brands, right? So you've seen the concept of like influencer, right? Influencers, they have brands. That's what they are. They're brands. So we moved from the big corporates to big influencers, right? Who have like millions of people, millions of followings. And people are saying, you know what? This guy has millions of followers. How can I compete with them? But now the market has shifted again, and now we're not talking about big brands, big influencers, but we're talking about micro brands and micro influencers, right? So that means that there's still a place for you to go and create your brand. It's not because there's these big giants, the Amazons, the Googles and stuff, that you cannot go and create your brand, right? So it will be competitive. It will be, you know, if you're in that specific space, it will be competitive, but still, these people don't have everybody on the market, and people are not solely looking at the big names now. They're looking at the micro ones. These are the ones that are actually, having all the traction, okay? So you having your brand, your micro brand, is going to be a blessing for you, right? Because here's the thing, if you hold on to the old way of doing things where you think that, you know what, you only need a big brand, otherwise you can't do anything, then obviously you're not going to be motivated to do anything. You're going to give up even before you start, and you're going to miss out on this huge opportunity right now of having your own brand, a micro brand that will attract the people like you who are going to buy anything from you, okay? So that's what you want. Once you have your brand, these people will buy anything from you, just like people are buying anything from Apple, right? So if you have, I don't know, if you're passionate about, I don't know, like, you know, a specific species of turtles, right? Turtles, like sea turtles, they're my favorite animal, right? But just imagine there's this pink turtle, right? Pink sea turtle, right? And you have your brand around this. Obviously, people who like cats and stuff, they're not going to be interested. But people who do love those pink turtles, they're going to be interested. And because you have this brand, you'll be the reference, they're going to go to you, okay? My example wasn't necessarily the best, but you understand what I'm saying, okay? So a brand is something, if you want to understand the power of a brand, because a lot of people don't understand this. The power of a brand is this. Just look at the release of the new Air Jordans or the new Apple phone, okay? Nobody knows what's in there. Nobody cares. Sometimes it even looks ugly, but just because it's Jordan or just because it's Apple, people will fight. They will sleep outside, and they will spend, their savings to buy something that they don't need, and they don't actually care about, because they have a product who's exactly the same. They're just going to buy it because it's the brand. And you want to be able to create the same thing. You want people to buy because it's your brand. A brand is more powerful than a product, okay? Don't, stop competing at the product level, you need to compete at the brand level, right? That's the reason why, if you buy a phone from Apple, you'll pay it, I think the last iPhone that came out, I think in France there's one, it's like 1.7 thousand euros, which is absolutely ridiculous. And you buy a phone, a similar phone, I think there's this Chinese brand who came up with a phone, and it's a lot more sophisticated than an iPhone, and I think the highest price is like 300 bucks, and I'm pretty sure that phone is better, right? So you can see how just because of the brand, people are willing to pay more, okay? So now, obviously, now you want your brand. You're like, dude, I want my brand, right? So how do I get there? How do I become a micro brand, right? But here's the thing. There is a few challenges that you need to understand to go from the old model to the new model, right? So you need to understand how to position your brand, how to communicate, the values of your brand and stuff like that. And these are things that I can teach you because, well, I had to create my own brand, and quite successfully, actually, I did in my own space. And I've documented everything I've done and everything that works for me, removed all the fluff and everything, and I came up with something that you can use to create your own brand today and start taking market share from everybody and start charging a lot more than your competitors, right? So if you want to know how that works, if you look in the description of this video, there's a link. Click on the link, it's going to take you to a video where I explain the whole thing, okay? And please remember this, just, if you don't believe me, just look at these models that I give you, right? The Jordans, the Apples, and all that kind of stuff. As soon as they release something, nobody cares what's in there, they're going to buy it, and people are going to do the same thing for you once you apply my strategy. So I'll meet you on the other side after you click on this link. See you, bye-bye.